Hello and welcome to our educational video series on personality testing in the workplace. This video is a short course for online talent managers' communication styles test. OTM is a psychometric test developer, and this video will give you a framework for understanding how we model communications. Communication is the cornerstone of being human. The way you present yourself to others, share your thoughts and emotions, and to communicate with colleagues, employees, and customers has a huge impact on your abilities to succeed in the workplace. This test measures how you appear to others and gives you a framework for communicating more effectively. Like the Octogram, the Communication Style Questionnaire has a high correlation with the Competing Values Framework. The horizontal axis represents the difference between an external orientation and an internal orientation. Think of this as how you sit. Externally oriented people lean forward into the conversation. They want to be heard and put energy into what they are saying. Internally oriented people kind of sit back. They give space to their conversation partners, and they are more oriented toward listening and understanding. The vertical axis represents the difference between emotional control and emotional openness. When placed together, these axes form 4 quadrants and give us an effective way of describing how people communicate with each other. In the top right quadrant, at the intersection between emotional openness and external orientation, we have the expressive communication style. Expressives freely share their emotions and thoughts with others. They are warm and friendly, but tend to take over the conversation. You can identify expressives by their big hand movements, their need to talk, and the content of their communications, focusing on emotional information rather than factual information. Think motivational speaker or actor. A strong expressive score represents someone who has no problem starting up conversations and are excited about speaking in front of groups. They tend to be verbally aggressive when under stress. Our research has shown that the expressive communication style is closely correlated with the pioneer and networker work styles of the Octogram test. Expressive pioneers want to share their ideas and creativity. Expressive networkers are energized by talking to new people and making new relationships. In the bottom right quadrant, at the intersection between emotional control and an external orientation, we see the directive communication style. The directive style is all about doing the talking while you do the listening. It's about conveying needed information without a lot of emotional warmth. Their hand movements are clipped with plenty of pointing and sharp movements for emphasis. They give directions. They want to say something, communicate enough to generate the needed outcome, and move on. A strong directive score represents someone that wants to take control of the conversation and tends to come across as dominant and impatient. The directive communication style is closely correlated with the achiever and strategist work styles of the Octogram test. Directive achievers speak quickly, almost in bullet points, and speak to get an immediate result. Directive strategists aren't as skilled at warm and fuzzy communication. They have a plan. They will tell you the plan. That's the end of the conversation. In the bottom left, we have the intersection between an internal orientation and emotional control. We call this the reflective communication style. Reflective people are sitting back in the chair with their arms crossed and do a lot more listening than talking. They want data and distrust people who speak only in emotional terms. When they do start talking, it's mostly in facts and data. Think of accountants or programmers. Reflectives tend to think that facts should be enough to win an argument. They speak more slowly and come across as remote or reserved. The reflective communication style is closely correlated with the anchor and analyst work styles. A reflective anchor is going to zero in on details and have no problem with asking every single question that they need an answer to. A reflective analyst is going to have the skeptical face on and focus on the facts and ignore or distrust emotional communication. In the top left, at the intersection between an internal orientation and emotional openness, we have the cooperative communication style. Cooperative people are warm and give space to others and tend to take a more passive role in conversations. They are sitting back, they're relaxed, and they're good listeners. Strong cooperatives are such good listeners that it's sometimes difficult to tell when they disagree with you. They speak at a more relaxed pace than people with an external orientation, and it's difficult for them to take control of a conversation or a group. They are too quick to give in and can have difficulty in selling the no. The cooperative communication style is closely correlated with the team player and helper work styles of the Octogram. A cooperative team player is not going to feel the need to push others in any particular direction. A cooperative helper will be wide open to the emotional content of a conversation and focus on making their conversation partner feel comfortable and good. Someone with medium scores on all of these traits will be able to change between styles easily based on the situation. Someone with extreme scores will find it hard to be flexible, limiting their ability to communicate effectively with some types of people. In your work, you will meet people with different communication styles from your own. This test is useful for identifying your own style, how others perceive you, but also in recognizing how others communicate. The goal of communication is to get the thoughts in your head into the head of someone else. When you understand communication style, you will know how to form your ideas, words, and actions so that they will fit into someone else's brain. The good news is that most of the style is mechanics: your pace, how you sit, how you move, facial expressions, how often you speak, how often you listen. And this means that you can learn it, train it, and improve it with practice. Communication is the cornerstone of being human. Knowing your own style and recognizing the styles of others will be a tremendous asset in your professional and personal life. Learn more about this and other tests on our online Talent Manager website. Thank you for listening.